I'm already in black, so I'm just missing the pointed at, and I could be easily a witch. Now, hello guys, welcome. And today we are going to talk about witches. Specifically, have you ever wondered where the myth of witches comes from? Today we are going to explore exactly that link. Now there's a new theory out there, something extremely relevant, that says that basically the myth of witches is very much connected with beer and beer production. Let's take a step back. Witches are very well known for wearing dark clothing, just ticked, pointed at, which I don't have, so that's why I don't have it. But also to have cats. I do have cats. And for their broom, I have one. So I'm almost a witch, almost. So the point of this is why all of these symbols are associated with witches and what do they represent? Well, the new theory out there says that it is connected with beer production. Specifically, since the Middle Ages, beer production was extremely connected to the domestic sphere. And what that really means is it was a realm strictly associated with women. Women would take care of the kitchen, would take care of cooking, but also of making beer. So let's think about it. Even though witches, or the myth associated to witches, starts in the Middle Ages, really, when it explodes is the Renaissance and a little bit further into the Renaissance, so we're going to talk about the 16th century. And it explodes in Protestant communities. That is where women had this job, the job of brew in a cauldron the beer. Now, in Protestant communities, there was quite a strict cut, and so women would wear dark clothes. The pointed hat, it must have been a symbol to recognize who was making the beer in the chaos of the market. So it was kind of like a mark. It was like a way to distinguish immediately who to ask the beer to. Secondly, the cauldron is self-explanatory. That's what you need to make beer, or what you needed to make beer. What about broom? What about the broom, though? Well, the broom is very simple. It was believed to have been used outside of the houses in a hole in the house, and it was there to signal that the beer was ready. So we have it all, except for cats. Well, let's take a step back. Beer and beer production was known in the ancient Mesopotamia. It was also known among Sumers. Sumers would refer to the god of beer, actually a goddess, named Ninkasi. And it was so important because it was an important source for calories. In a time where, you know, the diet wasn't as rich as the one we have nowadays, to have beer, especially mixed with herbs and medicines, it was extremely important. Another civilization that knew how to make beer and then therefore drink beer were the ancient Egyptians. We always go back to them. Have you noticed? The ancient Egyptians, where the cat was sacred. Why is that? Simple. Because cats would keep away rodents, mice, from eating the wheat. And that was extremely important. Also, every rodent is a vehicle for transmitting diseases. And therefore, cats were extremely important. And that is also why they were so sacred. And that is exactly the same type of issue we do have in the Middle Ages or in the Renaissance, 15th, 16th, 17th century. That is, cats are so important to keep away simply rodents. And rodents eat wheat. And that is why often the cat is associated to the witch. A black cat, because that's simply the color that is mostly widespread, maybe not nowadays, but perhaps at the time in these regions. Now, How the myth starts is simple. In the 16th century, there's a Protestant reform, and this reform says to women, listen, you're not anymore allowed to carry out these activities. These activities must be handled by a man. So what perhaps happened was that men, in the attempt of giving up, increasing their production, of becoming established beer producers, simply had to eliminate women. How can you eliminate somebody from the market? Simple. You smear them, right? So what happened is probably that through the divulgement of this myth of witches, what is it that they did do? What is it that they do? What kind of potions are they making? Through this smear campaign, women were labeled as witches, and therefore were put simply out of the market. Most of the times this would not have serious consequences, sometimes had some serious consequence. But that was simply a strategy that men used to eliminate competitors from the market. And that is how the myth of witches was born. Now guys, this is a theory. I want to know what you're thinking about it, and therefore please let us know. Comment below, and if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll talk next time. Ciao. Bye.